Hello, this is Tom from Blacktoe Studio, and this is my 2,000 points of Grey Knights at last. This is an army I'm playing against Dom, who's bringing some Renegades and Demons. So let's pop in here and have a quick look. So HQ-wise, we have a Librarian down here. I've given him in the Cuirass's Sacrifice. I think that gives him a 5+ Feel No Pain, basically. Just off to his left, we also have a Nemesis Grandmaster in Dread Knight armour. He has a Great Sword, heavy side cannon and a heavy incinerator, and I think we gave him Sanctuary as a psychic power. Psychic power to Librarian. He's got warp shaping, and I believe I gave him Sanctuary as well. Then we move on to some troop choices. So we've got 3 troop choices in this army because it's a battalion. We have 2 strike squads here, and they are armed exactly the same. So the Justicar has a demon hammer, and then we have 2 halberds in there, and the rest have all got swords. And then basically around those out, we have 2 side cannons in each as well. So there and there, and they will be transported in these 2 stock rhinos. No real changes there. The third troop choice over here is a 6-man Terminator squad. We do have a side cannon in there, and basically 2 halberds, and the rest have all got swords, and obviously they're storm bolters. In heavy slots, we have 2 heavy choices here. I've just realised I've only got I've got 2 of them off the bench. I'll put them back in a bit, but they are 2 5-man squads. They actually 2 of them came off their base. I was just gluing them, and I've just forgotten to put them back on before I started the video. However, so we have a Demon Hammer Justicar and a standard Nemesis 4-sword Justicar, and then basically there's 4 incinerators and 4 side cannons. That's 2 separate squads. And they'll be riding in this lovely Storm Raven here, which has got a twin las cannon, twin multi-melter, and obviously the missiles that come with it. I am also planning to put the Librarian in there, as it has a 12-man capacity. So that is my 2,000 points of Grey Knights. Let's see what Dom's bought for his list.
Dom from Blacktoe Studios, and my 2,000 points of Chaos. So I'm going to start over here with my battalion of Renegades and Heretics, obviously from the Legend status. We're going to go over, and we've got 3 troop choices here, so 3 militia squads, all with las guns, no special weapons there. 2 Renegade commanders, both with plasma pistols here. And then behind there we've got 2 beast handlers with the hounds, which would be quite interesting. I'm not sure how effective they're going to be. An armoured sentinel here with a las cannon and a hunter killer. Behind here we've got 1 heavy choice. We've got 2 basilisks with heavy flamers. And over here we have got a Lehman Russ demolisher. So those are my Renegades and Heretics. Now let's have a look at the demon contingent that's going to be joining this army. So over here, these are my demons, and we've got 2 massive squads of bloodletters, 2 squads of 20 bloodletters, both with instruments and with icons. We then have a squad over here of 10 with an icon. This is obviously a battalion. We have Scarbrand, we have Oraka the Warfiend, and we have got our Greater Demon of Khorne there, which will be the Warlord. His Warlord trait is Oblivious to Pain, which is like a 6-up Feel No Pain, and he has got the Talisman of Blood, I think, which will be quite handy, hopefully, in combat. So that is my 2,000 points. I've used most of my command points before the game, putting all these guys into reserve, denizens of the warp, so we're down to 1 command point. Yikes. And we'll see where we go from there. So let's have a look at mission and deployment.
Okay, so we are all deployed now. We are going to be doing another mission from one of the Crusade books. This is going to be called The Shield, and as you can see here, we have deployed. However, here is how the battlefield is being shaped up. So we have a line down the middle called The Shield, and the basic rule of that is if you shoot across it at an opponent, that the opponent gets a 5-up save. If you're within their own half, they don't, obviously. Other than that, there are no actual physical objectives on the board. It is purely about getting across to your opponent's side and stopping them from getting into your side of the board. When I say the side, I mean literally the whole half where your deployment zone is. So essentially, at the end of each turn, a player can score 30 victory points, and this can be done by having 3 or more units wholly within half of the battlefield that contains your opponent's deployment zone, and also if you have less than 3 enemy units wholly within your own deployment zone. And also you can score another 10 points for if an enemy unit was destroyed this turn by a unit from their army that was wholly within the half of the battlefield that contains the opponent's deployment zone. So hopefully that's really clear. But anyway, so at the moment we're both lined up here. We don't know who's going first yet because we've got to roll off for that. So I think Dom's running over for his dice.
I'm coming. Here we go. Let's see the toad.
Here's Dom.
Yes.
But the thing is, it's only good enough if I don't get one as well.
Double toadage.
Oh, okay. I can see how this day is going. So Dom is going first. We'll be right back in a minute with Renegades and Heretics with Allied Demons, turn 1.
Right, turn 1 movement for the Renegades. So across here, the basic militia have moved up, as well as the Sentinels kind of pondered forwards a little bit. The Beast Handler's gone up with his hounds looking for targets and prey. The other Lord over here with his squad just fanned out a little bit to cover some bases. Over here we've got the Demolisher trundling forwards. He's gone over half speed because he was just out of range of his Demolisher cannon, so he's going up towards that Rhino over there. Beast Handler here backing up in case some Grey Knights come in and try and take on the tank. And over here the squad's fanned out a little bit, still looking to see what they can do. So that's movement. Let's move on to Psychic and Shooting, turn 1 for the Forces of Chaos. Right, so first bit of shooting of the game, the 2 Basilisks here. Before the Grey Knight Terminators can disappear, we're going to fire onto these guys here. So both are firing their main cannon, so let's have a look, see how many shots we get.
1.
So we've got 4. We've got 9 in total. Right, here we go. We can do this. I believe in you, Basilisks. Many of you don't. So we get 4 up. Okay, well, there's a couple there. It's not great. Now we need 2s. There we go. And then Tom, can we have some armour saves,
yes,
please?
it is -2. Is that
I believe so, yes. Well, 1 got through and it's D3 damage. There's 2 wounds there.
So 1 is dead.
Buff. Right, that's good. Right, let's move on to the next bit of shooting. Next up, we're going to fire this armoured sentinel across the field into this Grey Knight Rhino. Right, so las cannon first, followed by the hunter killer. So las cannon, missed. Oh dear, hunter killer, hit, wounded. Tom,
I'll take my 5 vulnerable.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
No.
Nope. See how much damage?
5.
5. Nice. Right, let's move on to the next bit of shooting. Right, so next up here we've got the Demolisher firing through with his las cannon and Demolisher cannon. As it went over half speed, we're going to only fire once. So let's fire the las cannon first. So that's a miss.
Oh no.
See how many shots? Yeah, I know, Tom, I know you're very sad. With the Demolisher cannon. 1. Oh no, here we go. No, there we go, a miss. And that is the end of my shooting, unfortunately, Tom. I know you're a bit sad about that.
I am.
So,
Devastated, in fact.
yeah, we have no assault at the moment, so let's move into turn 1 for the Grey Knights.
Okay, so we enter turn 1 for the Grey Knights here. I decided to leave the Terminators down here because I probably will be gated finishing them soon. The Rhino here, which is damaged, can only move a little bit, so he managed to move up, I think it was a 5-inch move in the end, just heading towards this area of the battlefield. The other Rhino moved a nice full 12, getting up towards the centre table, and the Storm Raven jumped over the centre line and has landed very close to the Demolisher here, hopefully going to do some damage to him. Obviously inside there we have the Librarian and the 2 Purgation squads. With everything else being reserved, so that's the 2 Dread Knights currently sitting in reserve. I haven't really got a lot on the table. Obviously there are 2 strike squads inside these Rhinos as well though, so hopefully they'll be on the field shortly. Anyway, that's movement, so let's go on to the little bit of shooting that I do have. Okay, so in my shooting phase here, because I skip the psychic phase unusually for Grey Knights because I actually haven't got anything out that can do stuff, we are going to be firing all the weapons from the Storm Raven here into the Demolisher. So Dom, how do you feel about this? This is going to be good. So I'm going to go with the twin las cannon first.
Go for it.
So we're hitting on 3s. Hit with both of them.
3s to wound.
3s to wound. Both of them wounded. I'm not firing through the halfway point either because I made sure of that. And
1 save.
so that is D6 damage, if I remember correctly, for that one. So let's start with that. We'll start with a 3.
Okay, 1 9.
And then I have a twin multi-melter. So 2 shots hitting on 3s. Both hit.
Please miss.
And we're in half range, aren't we? So
We've gone 4s.
4s.
String fate. Is it string fate?
It is.
Yeah,
yes.
string fate. Oh, well, I can't do anything about it. It's -4 AP.
It is indeed. And it's D6 plus 3.
Yep. Don't get a 6.
A 5.
Okay.
He's just
Oh,
laughing.
D6 plus 2, so 7 wounds.
7 wounds, yeah.
Right, oh, well, that's
So
good
what are you
then.
down to?
I'm on 2.
2. Well, I've got a Storm Strike missile as well, which I'm going to fire. Which I'm just checking the rules on because I haven't used them for a while. So they're heavy 1, strength 8, -3, 3 damage.
Oh, well.
So here we go. Hit on 3. No, we missed.
Oh, what a shame.
So unfortunately, he's down. This thing here is down to 2 wounds.
Under.
So, we'll be right back in a minute. Actually, to be honest, I'm going to say, unfortunately, we're going straight over to Renegades turn 2, actually.
Yeah, boy. Turn 2 movement for the forces of chaos. So in the reinforcement step here, the 20-man squad of Bloodletters and Oraka the Warfiend have appeared on the back line, hopefully take on these Terminators before they teleport off somewhere and cause mayhem elsewhere.
Looking forward to that, I might add.
Yeah, Tom's not looking forward. How weird. This squad of militia have advanced forwards, supported by the armoured sentinel. The 2 basilisks have also rolled forward slightly to narrow the gap of any potential deep strikers. The hounds and the handler are moving through the centre there. Hopefully this might pop forward, pop open, and these guys can deal with it. Militia here stayed the same. However, the renegade lord there, he is looking up at the Storm Raven with his plasma pistol, thinking, if the gods are appearing, maybe I am blessed. So he's going to be overcharging that bad boy. Demolishers remain stationary. The hounds have moved up in case this thing's able to get popped, because the greater demon of Khorne has appeared here, and hopefully we'll get a charge off in there. We will see. Down here the squad has remained stationary, and not to be outdone by the other renegade commander, but this one here has also come forward and aimed his plasma pistol up in the air. Tom is looking potentially very worried. Look at that face. That's a worried face if ever I've seen one. So, without further ado, let's move into turn 2, psychic and shooting for the forces of chaos. Turn 2 shooting for the forces of chaos. The 2 basilisks here with the armoured sentinel fired off, popping this rhino here. Unfortunately, all the Grey Knights made it out fine without any damage. We had some sporadic shots going off as well. Demolisher unable to hit anything. Now it's on 2 wounds. Both renegade commanders, the one down here and the one over here, both fired up with overcharged plasma pistols. Didn't kill themselves, however they didn't hit, so that's a bit of a shame. That is it for all the shooting. So we've destroyed a rhino at least. We're going to move on to assault, and hopefully this guy can whack this guy out the air. We will see. And over here, let's see, hopefully these guys can take on these guys. However, we now have a squad over there to deal with as well. So let's move on to turn 2 combat. Right, okay, so here we go. We're going to charge into these Terminators. We need an 8-inch roll because we've got the instrument there, so that plus is 1, and we can re-roll because we've got a Demon Prince here. So here we go.
Not looking forward to this, but...
Ah, 7.
Oh no!
We're going to command point that. No, there we go. 9. Nice, nice, nice. And let's move them and then see where we are. Right, so we moved the Bloodletters in here. Now we're going to try for Oraka to get in combat there. So it's a 10-inch charge. Can we do it? We can!
Oh no.
Tom says, oh yes!
No.
And just a correction on before, this guy does not have the Loki, so you wouldn't be able to re-roll anyway. But we've got some good charges. So let's move him in and see the next charger. Right, unfortunately, Garden Hammer doesn't work well when you've got a big wingspan and you have a breeze. So yeah, sad times there. We're going to try and charge him in, however, and repair him off camera. So that's a 9-inch charge. We didn't make it. That's going to be painful. Right, okay, let's move on to the rest of Assault. Right, so the first combat we're going to try here is with the Bloodletters. So we're going to be, we've got 21 attacks going in here. We're hitting on 2s. And we're wounding on 3s. So let's have a quick little look to see if I can actually do any damage. So here we go. Oh no, Tom's come over now. That's a lot of 1s. So let's move them. Count them up.
Prince, or?
I believe we can.
Yes.
Right, so as Tom rightly said there, we're re-rolling these 1s. So that's pretty good. Quite a few hits here. So now we're going to roll to see how many can wound. Right, okay, so rolling to wound here. We need freeze, and 6s cause 2 wounds. So let's have a look. A couple of 6s there, and a couple of fails, but that's a lot of saves for... here you go, Tom. There you go. Take them away. Let's see if Tom can save any.
I'm going to do these 6s first, because they are 2 wounds each.
Yep.
So I take it these are -3, so I need 5 ups here.
Nope.
So 1 is dead.
Yep. And would you like to roll the rest of these, Thomas?
Again, I'll take the 5 up, I think.
That's probably a good idea, yeah. Oh, there's a few fails there.
Let's just take everything out that's saved. And then we've got 1 dead, 2 dead, 3 dead, 4 dead. That does it.
They're all gone. All the Terminators have
Thanks a lot,
fallen.
Dominic.
So we're going to move the consolidated movement up there and have a look at the battlefield. Right, so at the end of that there, the Terminators have been killed. The Bloodletters have followed up towards the Grey Knights there, getting ready for a volley of shots. And of course we had a failed charge over there of the Greater Demon, probably because he's got a broken wing. And at the end of that we have scored 30 points because we have got 3 units now in the board edge for the board half. Sorry, not the board edge, but the board half. So we've got this squad of militia, squad of bloodletters, and a Raka there. That scored us 10 points. We've also wiped out a squad of terminators in the in his deployment. That's another 10 points there. And we're preventing the enemy currently being on our side. So that is 30 points. Good times. Now let's move over to the Grey Knights and see what they can do in their turn 2.
Okay, so we've now hit turn 2 for the Grey Knights here. And also, just so you know, the scores are currently standing at Dom on, I think, 40 points and myself on 10 after his successful second round. However, at the end of the movement phase for the Grey Knights here, we have had this squad of strike squad come around the corner here, ready to face off against these demons here, along with a little dropped-in Dread Knight here, ready to hopefully lend some assistance. And then as we shift on over to this side of the board, the Storm Raven dumped its cargo, which was a squad of 2 squads of purgation squads to say, one with side cannons and the other one with incinerators here. We then had this Dread Knight drop in over here, ready to hopefully take on this Demon Prince. Great Demon Corn, sorry. Should be interesting in combat. And obviously the Warlord, which is the Librarian, is also dropped down here. And then the Storm Raven has shot across this side of the board to hopefully deal with the long-range fire support, along with the remaining Rhino with its strike squad just in the middle of the table here. And I'm just starting to feel some spitting on my head, so we'll see what happens in a minute. Back in a moment with Psychic and Shooting. Okay, because as I'm playing Grey Knights, I thought I'll go through the Psychic phase a little bit more in depth, because obviously we had a load of stuff happen. Stratagem-wise also, I'll go through everything. So anyway, we had Sanctuary go off on this Dread Knight. We also put Psychic Onslaught on here as well, so that his Psy Cannon and Gatling silencers both have a bit of extra punch. We had Cybolt Ammunition as a stratagem go off on these guys. They did also do a smite into this squad, killing 1. Over to this side of the board, we had Astral Aim go on to this squad with the Incinerator, so they can potentially fire through the wall over here. We also had Sanctuary go off on this Dread Knight here. We then had a normal smite come from the Librarian into the tank, which missed. However, we then did a mini smite here and managed to take 1 wound off the tank there. So that is the Psychic phase done. We're now going to head on to some shooting, and let's see if we can... I don't know, I feel like we need to blow up some long-range artillery, don't we? How do you feel?
No.
No? Okay, well, sorry. So at the end of turn 2 shooting for the Grey Knights, as the rain starts to come down, Dom is very slowly winding the umbrella up. We are going to see if we can somehow get through this. It's starting to look a bit dodgy. However, shooting-wise, we had the Storm Raven here covered in water, firing at the Basilisk, and it actually managing to kill it. It did fire a shot off at the... sorry, I keep forgetting what the walker's called. The Sentinel, but didn't actually manage to do anything then. Over to here, we had the Dread Knight and the Strike Squad here fire everything into the Bloodletters, taking away this portion over here actually. So it wasn't too bad, but it could have been better in my opinion. But as we roll over to this side of the table, we had all the incinerators fire from here into the Greater Demon Prince here, and also over here we had Psy Cannons fire into here, taking it down to 7 wounds. Well, it could have been better as well, but I think Dom did not like the result of that. Boo! Boo. Over here we had the Dread Knight, who actually I had to shuffle back because I didn't realise there was a guy tucked away down here, so I apologise moving back before he fired anything. He fired a couple of shots into the Lehman Rust that was here and destroyed it, and also the poor dogs that were here have been removed from the table again, leaving the Ogren on 1 wound. So that is the shooting. We're going to head on to the combat phase and let's see if the Grey Knights can claw back a few more points. Okay, so at the end of combat over here, the Strike Squad here managed to remove the rest of the demons. However, they did take 3 casualties in return because there was some heavy hitting back, and obviously they still had to deal with the Raka at some point. This Dreadnought didn't actually make it in because there wasn't enough space. As we shift over to this side of the board, combat-wise, there wasn't actually anything else other than a little combat going on down here where we took, I think, all but 1 wound off the Renegade Commander because there was a bit of a bottleneck there, so they couldn't really get their full.
That's what he wanted.
What he wanted, he dragged him in.
Yeah, Spartan style.
Except these troops are much less quality than Spartans.
Debatable.
Anyway, that is the end of this turn 2 for the Grey Knights. We're going to turn 3 for the Renegades and Heretics.
Turn 3 movement for the Forces of Chaos. And across the board is general advance. Once again, the Hounds and the Handler moved up to face off against this Rhino. Try and open it with their jaws. This squad of militia following the commander up to take on this squad here and the librarian. The winged great demon is in the middle, waiting to pick his target. Although, however, behind we have Scarbrand. Scarbrand has appeared behind the Dreadnought there. Renegade commander still in combat, battling against this squad. Ogrin has come up as well, so potentially can deal with them. Across the field, back over in the Grey Knight deployment, little skirmishes are breaking up everywhere, which is pretty awesome. We have another squad of Bloodletters that's appeared behind Araka. Araka's probably going to face off against this squad here. The militia are now resting behind this container, regaining their breath. The Armoured Sentinel, however, has a nice bead down towards the Dreadnought there. As for the weather, it's still a bit rainy at the moment. Tom is doing a great job holding up the umbrella, so we should be alright. So let's move on into turn 3, Psychic and Shooting. End of turn 3, Psychic and Shooting for Chaos. As you probably can hear, it's raining quite a bit now, so I'm going to get through this quite quickly. The Sentinel here fired its las cannon over towards Dreadnought there, causing 3 wounds. Across the field we had some sporadic fire going on here with las guns and plasma pistols firing in nothing. The Renegade Commander holding in here, just a bit of rain there, fired his plasma pistol, taking 1 wound off there. We are doing alright at the moment. We're going to move into Assault. Sorry for the rush, it's a little bit wet. Right, so the end of turn 3 Assault for the Chaos Forces. So over here the fight continues. The Ogrim did get in there and killing off another couple of Grey Knights. There's 3 left there. Scarbrand did get in, however he was butchered by the Dreadnought there, but we took that down to 5 wounds. Oh, Grey Demon Corn didn't do anything, but has been taken down to 1 wound. Not good for demons over here, unfortunately.
Demon Codex!
Yeah, we need a new codex. Someone listen. Over here, the Hounds and the Master charged in there, taking it down to 8 wounds. Across the field here, Araka charged in successfully in here, engaged the Grey Knights there, killed 5. The other 2 failed morale and legged it. Yeah, so not good there. We have scored 20 points this turn, as we've killed something in deployment over here. We also have 3 units here, and unfortunately the Grey Knights have 3 units, well, more than 3 units in our deployment. So that's it. Let's move over to turn 3 for the Grey Knights.
Okay, so as we start turn 3 for the Grey Knights, over here we had the Dreadnought move towards Araka. Hope we're going to try and finish him off. Dom doesn't think so. We had the Strike Squad jump out of the Rhino here and just take this position here. Obviously back the Rhino away after that so we can have a crack at this wonderful dog squad here, but also we have options of what is over on this side. Over here the Dreadnought's actually in range of most things with his gun, so he stays still so he can possibly have a look at those lovely demon bloodletters back there. I've stayed in combat on this side because I didn't want to move out and not be able to do anything and then have lots of stuff chase me down, but I'm not too sure what I'm going to do about that situation just yet. And then on this side we had the Storm Raven has jumped up here and he's looking down, possibly maybe going to shoot at Araka, I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows?
So many options. But anyway, we'll be right back in a minute with the Psychic and Shooting for the Grey Knights in turn 3. Okay, so you join us at the end of turn 3 for the Grey Knights. There was only 1 assault I did, so we wrapped that up with the Psychic and Shooting. Anyway, over here, as you can see, the Dreadnought here managed to finish off Araka with the assistance of the Storm Raven. In fact, actually, he ended up shooting most of his firepower into the bloodletters over here,
Killing 4.
And over here, the Strike Squad managed to destroy the poor dogs and their Ogren owners. They were only out for a walk, I've heard, but
yeah.
However, most of the damage was probably done over here, where we got the Greater Demon of Khorne's gone. I mean, he was only on 1 wound, to be fair. We smited him down. And then basically the Dread Knight, Psy Cannons and Librarian all shot into the bloodletters over here. I think we took a few out.
Yep. Took
However,
6.
at the end you brought 3 back because you rolled a 1 on your leadership. We had a little fight down here, and again, the Renegade Guard Commander killed one of my guys, and I failed to do anything to him because of his refractor field. It is that bottleneck down there, I think, causing me problems. But anyway, that is the end of turn 3 for the Grey Knights. We did score 20 points at the end of our turn. However, we'll now move on into turn 4 for the Renegades.
Turn 4 movement for the Renegades and Chaos Demons. So over here, the Bloodletters are now approaching this Dread Knight. We haven't got a choice. We have to engage it, or it's just going to shoot us off the board. Militia are now lurking around here, suspecting that they're going to be the next target from the Grey Knights over there. Sentinel just moved round slightly to get a decent bead on the Dread Knight there. Basilisk just happily rolling forward slowly, firing away. Over here, the Bloodletters, the Militia, and the Renegade Commanders are all kind of going up here now. Hopefully we should do something. The squad of Militia have come round as well to put some supporting fire in. And the real hero, the Renegade Commander, just back here, just slowly hacking his way through Grey Knights, as you do. So that's it. We're going to move into Psychic and Shooting and see what we can do. Turn 4 shooting. Not a great deal happened. Las Cannon fired into the Dread Knight round here. However, it hit, didn't wound, used to reroll, still didn't wound, unfortunately. So nothing went on there. Basilisk fired as well, causing, was it 1 wound or 2 wounds?
1 wound. Oh, sorry, 2 wounds. Sorry.
2 wounds.
Traitorous Desperation, I think we'll call it.
Treacherous Desperation, I don't know about that. Over here, las guns and frag grenades fired in here. Nothing happened.
Must admit, I'm slightly worried about that situation over there.
Yes. Las guns also fired in here. Nothing. The commander fired his plasma pistol. Unfortunately didn't hit, but I'm sure he'll kill them in combat. So we're going to move on now to turn 4 assault. As you can hear, the Chaos Forces are screaming in the background, so it's all good stuff. Let's see what we can do.
Down as well, mate.
Yeah. Turn 4 assault for the Forces of Chaos. Over here, the Bloodletters charged in with the Militia there, killing off the Librarian and reducing the squad down to 2. The fight continues over here. Hit 4 times, didn't wound at all, unfortunately. I had to use a reroll to keep him alive, though. Tom's quite committed to killing him. Across the field, we have another assault went on here. Bloodletters charged in, taking the Dread Knight down to 4 wounds. 1 did fall, unfortunately, to fight back there. So that is it for Chaos. We're going to move in now to turn 4 for the Grey Knights.
Okay, so as we join Grey Knights in turn 4, over here the movement phase has ended. We had the Strike Squad move around this way just so they can possibly get a few shots in the little cowering Renegade squad there. This Dread Knight has stayed still. This Storm Raven has come around this way. He's got a couple of las cannons, so he could potentially still shoot the Basilisk from here, but we'll see how that goes on. The 2 remaining Purgation squad members down here have moved out of combat with these guys here, so that the Dread Knight can now fire in and potentially charge this squad quite freely. And the Rhino has just crossed the halfway line to make sure he's in the point area, because obviously we've moved quite a few people out of this area and some people have died because of the Renegades and heretics. Anyway, that is movement. We'll now head on into Psychic and Shooting. Okay, so we have finished the Psychic and Shooting phases for the Grey Knights in turn 4. Down here, the Dread Knight managed to finish off the remaining Bloodletters with a pretty nasty Gatling shot to the face. We had the Storm Raven here fire his las cannon over at the Basilisk. I think we did 2 wounds off, wasn't it?
Yeah,
2 wounds. Yeah.
Yep. And
then all the other weapons that were available went into the Bloodletters that were down here, along with the shots from the Nemesis Grandmaster here. And also we had the Flamer from here, because we actually did a smite against the remaining. Boo! Lord Dale managed to kill him. So cowards is being shouted here. Everything's shot here, and so unfortunately down to, I think, 3 remaining Bloodletters now, which is Although you got your leadership coming up, which you're hoping to roll a 1.
Come on, ones.
Presume. So, other than that, we fired all of the shots from here into the poor lowly. Apparently, they're called militia minutemen for Dom. There's only one left anyway, so kind of regardless. So it doesn't really matter what he's called anymore. It's
No, it's more identity.
more identity now. So he's Philip the Minuteman. And then we took, I think, one. No, he's on 1 wound.
He's on 1 wound, yeah.
We fired the 2 side cannons into him on here. That is that. We've got a couple little assaults to do, but nothing else other than that. So we're back in a minute with turn 4 assault for the Grey Knights. Okay, so we end Grey Knights turn 4 here after the combat. Down here, the Sentinel met an untimely end to many halberdiers hitting it in the face, but it was actually a sword that finished off because all the decent weapons did nothing. We then had, obviously, down here, the Dread Knight finished that off. Moving over to this side, this Dread Knight managed to come in and finish off the last of the demons before they could have a chance to possibly come back using sneaky rolling of 1s. And that was the only other combat we had. So, at the end of that one, I scored another 30 points because I managed to kill something over there, but also have less than 3 in mine, but also have 3 over in that side of the board. So,
Oh, I've got to do a leadership test.
and
for
I've
that
got the
guy.
leadership. Oh,
Philip.
Philip the leader.
No, I don't think he's hanging around, mate. I think he's gone.
Okay, so he's now gone. So that is the end of turn 4 for the Grey Knights. We'll head on to turn 5 for Renegades, and this will be the last turn for both of us.
Right, so turn 5 for the forces of chaos, and it is now down to the mortals. The warp spawn were unable to do it, so it's going to be down to your basic Joe who's going to be doing it. So we've got 2 squads of militia here and the renegade commander. We kind of moved up. We're going to try and get rid of a couple of these remnant squads that are hanging about. Maybe even try the Dread Knight. The renegade commander's calling in some artillery support. So back here we have the basilisk there, and we're going to hopefully take something out. So, let's move into turn 5, shooting for the Renegades. Turn 5, shooting for the Renegades. So, this squad here, as well as half of this squad fired in here, taking out the survivors of the Renegade Commander. So, the Grey Knights are falling there.
Not happy.
We had a couple of shots going off here. Overcharged plasma pistol firing in here, but the invulnerable save has kept this guy going. The free up in run has done very well. Plasma pistol fired, overcharged, hit, wounded. Passed. 2 basilisk rounds came in as well and passed both those. So we're going to move into turn 5 assault. Turn 5 assault for the Renegades. And yeah, they all charged over. They all charged over the barricades. These guys here did 1 wound on the Dread Knight with bayonets attached. Because the good thing about Renegade Militia is they get +1 of strength. They charge or are charged. A bit of a catachan going on there. This squad charged in, killing off the 2 remaining there. Dread Knight fought back, killing off 2 of the militia, and unfortunately he did overwatch and took 2 wounds off the champion, off the renegade commander, and then was swiped down, decapitated. So in this turn we have scored 10 points, so we are now tied with the Grey Knights. However, I'm not sure that is going to last for long as we lead into turn 5 for the Grey Knights.
Okay, so we're at the end of turn 5 for the Grey Knights. We decided to do the whole lot because there wasn't really much we could do anyway. So I moved this strike squad over here and shot at the basilisk over there, and with the assistance of the las cannons off there, that was destroyed. And then over here, the only other bit we had was the combat down here, which ended in no one really winning, other than the Grandmasters holding his ground.
Other than Khorne.
Other than Khorne, I can't really disagree with that, I suppose. There was lots of bloodshed on this battlefield. However, so that is the end of the game. And the final scores were 110 points to the Grey Knights and 80 points to the Renegades and Heretics, which is actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. Although I think both me and Dom here agree that demons need a bit of a pick me up, especially for the greater stuff.
A little spruce.
Yeah. Did you enjoy yourself, Dom?
Yes, I did. Yeah, it was lots of fun.
Yes.
It's nice to see that my legended army is actually still standing, which I was really not expecting.
They're still on the board. Look.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I quite liked the fight that was going on here for a while.
That was quite amusing.
I think he killed 2 or 3 Grey Knights.
I think it was 4 actually.
Oh,
it was just the Justice Guard left in.
Yeah.
So well done with that. But yeah, I think Grey Knights are pretty okay, I suppose. But I need to play them a bit more. You know, I haven't played these guys for about 2 years. I'm pretty sure I've done lots of things very wrong. But it was a good game. Even though we had a bit of rain to contend with.
And hail.
We had the umbrella up and we had some towels out, so it's been quite entertaining. But anyway, we'd just like to thank you all very much for watching as usual. Do you have a unit of the match though, Dom?
Yeah, that Renegade Commander.
That was it.
Yeah, definitely. He's it.
Yeah, I'm going to actually pick this Nemesis Dreadnought here because he did take out Scarbrand and is still standing at the end.
Boo.
So, but without further ado, that is the end. Thank you all for watching. This is Tom and
Dom
from Black Toe Studios, and we will catch you all again as soon as possible.